Hey mom. Not my mom. For anybody else that sees this, my friend mom. Mind over matter. Let me try to. Thanks for the questions. I'm sorry it took me a while to find them here in the forum. And your brother sent me let me know you had raised these questions. Great questions, and I wanted to make a video because I think that some of these questions the answers to some of the questions might be interesting to others. I hope you don't mind if I read some of your questions. You're asking about that farm, that abandoned farm. I made a video on the Softy Papa channel, the abandoned Japanese farm, long, feature-length video about an abandoned farm. I'll put a link if anybody else sees this video but hasn't seen the farm video. I'll put a link below, but watch out, it's long. And you're asking about, Mom, you're asking about some questions about the farm, and I'm going to try to answer those questions now. First question was, is there a chance that someone would stumble upon a person living up there? Absolutely. You would be found out very quickly. I can answer two questions at one. You asked how secluded it is. It's very secluded. But the farmers tend to circuit around up there. Even though it's really secluded, the farmers tend to get around. They wander about, and you'd be found out very quickly. These guys, it's like having a radar. They have a sense about this kind of stuff. And even if the place was never visited, again, they would know you were there very quickly. And definitely because of the fact that I think that there's some logging interests that still have some activity on that property based on the logging equipment that I saw. Even though the door hadn't been open, the road had definitely been kept open. The road isn't abandoned. Somebody's driving up there. It's kept that little clearing area there where the car was parked. So if you popped in there, probably I would guess within a week a car would come driving in and find you there, and probably within at least 2 weeks the whole village nearby would know that you're up there, and they wouldn't be too happy about that. Yeah, you would. The reason being that they're not just for the simple act of trespassing, but for the sake that the way the mentality up there. This is their not just. It's not a matter when you get up into that area. It's not a matter of just the people. That it's their property and their home. It's their village and it's their community. It's their land. Everything. It's theirs. It's like a little. It's like I don't know how to say it. It's more than a village. It's more than anything. It's theirs. That area, that mountain, that region is theirs, and you're trespassing upon it. But I might have good news for you in just a second. So does anyone still own the farm? If so, or has it become so abandoned alone that no one bothered? Besides, that's the question I just answered. My other question was mostly around the work. But I hope you don't mind. I'll go ahead and cut and paste. You posted this in the forum, so I'll cut and paste this into the info here. Anybody that watches this video can read the whole question. My other question revolves mostly around the work involved in fixing it up. Some of the buildings were in pretty bad shape, but those look like they could be okay if some light fixing and hole patching were done. Others look like they would be done with just a new roof and support beams, a hydroelectric generator, water pipes. So here we go. Yeah. One house was in great shape. The other house was, you would know, the main house, the oldest one, I think that's beyond repair. But the other house, the secondary house, was in good shape. You could probably live in there quite easily. Although I think that might have been used as a community center. The other two buildings were just farm buildings. As for heat and cooking, don't worry about the smoke thing because you'd be found out anyway. Don't worry about any of that stuff. How about small turbine for wind? Wind might be something, but I've never kind of serious wind up there. Pretty light stuff. You mentioned the farm was a wasabi farm. Do you think a medium-sized vegetable garden, maybe a chicken coop with? Oh, absolutely, a vegetable garden, chicken coop, all that kind of stuff. The weather, it does snow up there in the wintertime, but it's never too severe. But the growing season is from mid-June right through September. You could definitely grow stuff up there, and chickens would be okay. It does get cold though, very cold. And although I like the idea of living disconnected, having cellular signal, no way. No, not a chance. No cell up there. I sent your brother the GPS coordinates, and so ask him. He's got those coordinates. You can actually see exactly where it is. There's not a chance of cell. Finally, last question. You mentioned that the farm was probably first inhabited close to 100 years ago. But when do you think it was last inhabited? During World War II, do you think people lived up there? Or also, if you run across it? Okay. Yeah, first inhabited probably at least 100 years ago. Last inhabited, I would say that the last people up there were probably in the 80s to mid 90s. Definitely during World War II. That house Well, I would say that house, the oldest house there, probably dates from the 50s or the 60s, so maybe not. Maybe not. It could be older. It could be older. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. That house could possibly go back to as early as maybe the 30s. So it's really hard to tell. And as for the digging around garbage heap, great idea. Yeah, I need to do that. Yeah, I know it's basically like a layered time machine. And I've done a couple of garbage dumps things with other videos in the past. It's one of the most interesting things I can think to do, and I really do need to do it. I'm more attracted to doing that for actual villages, which can be centuries or even millennia old. And looking through that kind of stuff is really fascinating. No problem showing you. Say thanks for showing us that side of Japan. No problem at all. And thanks for your question. Great questions. I'll upload this right away and link it into the forum. And are you on Facebook? I'm on Facebook a lot these days. It's kind of become well, mostly my family's all there. I tried to mainly my wife. I've been able to connect with my wife a lot there, so I'm over there a lot, and I'm checking the forum. I wasn't sure. It doesn't seem like we were kind of moving to the other forum, but nothing seems to be happening over there, so maybe we're back here again. We'll see what happens. I'll follow wherever. Okay, thanks Black Cat and Mom, or Mom and Black Cat, and because this was Mom's question. And have a great day, guys. Bye bye. Oh, was there more? I see there's more down here. Oh, Black Cat had a follow-up comment. I think that the City Hall of Shizuoka, I don't know what it's called in Japan, would probably have public records of that land. Oh, they didn't give you the good news. I'm glad I read that. I didn't give you the good news. The good news, Mom, is that even though they'd find you out right away, I am nearly 100% sure that if you went up there and did it through proper channels, hold on, let me finish reading Black Cat's question. Probably wouldn't have public records. Would probably have public records. If you asked, they would say that you can't live there. Let me play. Maybe try a different method of exploration. No. Okay, what you're talking about Black Hat, is going down to City Hall and doing it that way. Don't do it that way. I hate to say just counter you that way, but that's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is, and it's the only way to do it, is to do the kind of thing that I do. Wander around in the area and meet a farmer that lives in that area. There's a village nearby. Look in that GPS map that I gave Black Cat, that coordinates, you'll see there's a village nearby. That's the nearest village. Meet a villager there and ask them about the place. And there's one of three things that will happen. The first is, and probably the least likely, is that they will have no interest at all in sharing with you about what's going on, and zero interest at all in any idea of letting you come and stay there. You'll just basically be pushed away. And you want to know that, because if you go the City Hall route and then find out that the village doesn't want you there, even though City Hall, right, that's really bad. You need to ingratiate yourself, even though you want to live remote and you don't want to be part. You still got to be a part of the communities up there. The second thing that'll happen is that they may be uncertain, and they may give you the information to help you, give you a lead to help you find who the owner is. They know. If you get down to that local village, on that nearby village, they absolutely know who owns that, and there's no question of that. And maybe someone even in the village owns it. Most likely, what happens is there's somebody living in Shizuoka that owns it, a descendant of the person that did it, and they're holding on to that land simply because it's unseemly to get rid of the ancestral home, and they have no idea what to do with it. The property is absolutely worthless, except for the value of the timber on it. Otherwise, nobody else would want to live there. I'm closing on 10 minutes. I've got to go quick. So the third thing, the most likely thing that's probably going to happen is that, hey, wow, you're interested in that? Yeah, it belongs to Joe Blow down the street, or Joe Suzuki down the street. Go talk to Joe Suzuki, and you'll be able to arrange something for a meager rent. For a place like that, you're probably talking, a couple $100 a year to rent it, if that, or maybe some daikon, and you'd be set up. The villagers would most likely help you out, and you'd be ingratiate yourself right into the community. That's the only way to do it, because then you'll get the help of the community. You won't be seen as a trespasser. You'll be welcomed in. They'll give you your privacy to a degree. They'll come up and visit you sometimes. I'm almost at 10 minutes. I got to stop, but that's the way to do it. Work your way into the community, find who owns it, work out a deal. You're in like Flynn for the rest of your life. Okay, gotta sign off, guys. Take care. Bye bye. Hope this is helpful.